Good evening. Welcome to the Buck Stops here. I'm Vishnu Shom. On the program tonight, the mahagathbandhan in Uttar Pradesh is one step closer to being finalised. The Congress makes it clear they are willing to fight under the leadership of Akhilesh Yadav, and this announcement comes even days before a formal joint statement of all members of this grand alliance, which is also meant to include Ajit Singh's party, the RLD. All this is happening, of course, a day after the Election Commission made it clear the bicycle symbol of the Samajwadi Party goes to the Akhilesh Yadav camp, thereby bringing to an end the family feud, certainly as far as the leadership of the party is concerned. On the program tonight, the senior Congress leader Salman Khurshid joins us as we debate the prospects of this grand alliance in Uttar Pradesh. The big question, can Akhilesh pedal his cycle to victory with Rahul riding pillion?
Just over 12 hours after Akhilesh got the cycle, the Congress is on the back seat. Stapling together an alliance they believe will help win Uttar Pradesh. The Congress is expected to get about 70 to 80 seats. The Samajwadi Party will fight on 300. The remaining are likely to go to smaller parties.
कैसे कौन सीट किसको कितनी नंबर ये इस पे अभी चर्चा नहीं कर रहा हूं.
Last minute glitches still remain in stitching up what is going to be a grand alliance in Uttar Pradesh.
The alliance is a good idea, say Samajwadi Party supporters, including this Muslim leader from Western UP.
अगर कांग्रेस का कैंडिडेट हमारे समाजवादी पार्टी के सामने लड़ते हैं तो 10-5 हजार वोट लेते हैं तो वो भी फायदा हो जाएगा.
More good news for the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. This morning he reportedly secured a ceasefire with his father. Mulayam Singh Yadav has agreed not to put up rebel candidates. Sources have told us that Mulayam Singh Yadav has handed over a list of 40 of his preferred candidates to Akhilesh Yadav. This list reportedly does not include Akhilesh's uncle Shivpal, but Shivpal's son, Aditya Yadav. A joint announcement by Akhilesh and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi on the alliance and campaign schedules is expected in the next few days. With Sunil Prabhu in Delhi and camera person Ramesh Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, just a development that has just taken place. Mulayam Singh Yadav has now, in fact, sent the name of Shivpal Yadav across to Akhilesh to be considered for a ticket for these elections, not his son's name. So, is that an indicator that all is once again not well between father and son? Because the indicators earlier on in this day is that that chapter, as far as Shivpal was concerned and him getting a ticket was concerned, that was over, but his name has just been sent right now. We're going to be debating all of this, but first off, I'm joined by the senior Congress leader Salman Khurshid. Thanks very much, sir, for being with us. So, what is it? It's 80 seats that the Congress is being offered by the Samajwadi Party, is what we are told. I would assume you would want more. Where do those negotiations with the Samajwadi Party lie?
I think the basic principle has been accepted on both sides, and happily so. But there are sort of on the fringes, negotiations continue, exact numbers, a few seats that are perhaps very important for the Congress, a few seats that are very important for Samajwadi Party. Those that tidying up will continue for a few more hours, and I hope that by the time both leaders of the two parties come before the public to announce it, all these things would have been tied up.
Mr. Khurshid, you're saying hours, so you expect this process of tying up to end effectively sometime tonight, as early as that?
Well, difficult to give such a tight timeline to it. People are working overnight. People have been working for several nights now, 2-3 days and nights together. And as I speak to you, I do believe that people are still burning the midnight oil, if you like, the candle at both ends. So they will try and do it as quickly as possible. Nominations have already started for the first phase. So we need to get everything done as quickly as possible.
But what about the RLD in this?
Timeline,
is that a variable? Because another piece of information we have is that the Samajwadi Party wants the RLD and the Congress to get about 100 seats to contest from. And therefore, the RLD and what they are negotiating independently, could that be a factor in how many seats you would ultimately get?
Well, if it's a tripartite arrangement and agreement, then there's a little bit of adjustment that everyone needs to make. Difficult for me to pinpoint the exact numbers and figures, but yes, something around 100, 120 seems to be what everyone is hoping to be able to work around. Let's give it a few more hours and we'll know.
What about Sheila Dikshit? Now, we've spoken to her earlier on in the day, and she said that, you know, if it is there cannot be two chief ministerial candidates. Akhilesh is obviously the leader of the alliance that you have chosen to want to get into. Where does that leave her? Isn't it somewhat uncomfortable? The Congress had brought her to be your chief ministerial candidate in Uttar Pradesh, and now at this stage it seems that you've left her potentially by the wayside. Difficult for a senior leader to be, I won't use the word treated, but to have to come to terms with this reality?
Well, I think she's very experienced, and she's a very solid soldier of the Congress party. She obviously knew that she was going in for a very tough battle, whether we fought on our own or we had an alliance. Much of what is now unfolding would have been familiar to her, because she was right in the heart of everything. And I imagine that she was party to an extent, and she would certainly be prepared. But she has a lot going for her, and I don't think that you should feel sorry. You should in fact feel proud that there is a person who is willing to put herself out to such an extent for the party.
So, Mr. Khurshid, she still has a role as far as campaigning in Uttar Pradesh is concerned?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I would be very happy to see her come campaigning in my area, because she has a huge following there, and I'm quite sure that both parties would want her to be in those areas where she can make a considerable difference.
Mr. Khurshid, what about posts? Have you and the Samajwadi Party at this stage discussed, I don't know, Deputy Chief Minister in the future, should the alliance win? I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but surely at one level you'll be looking for posts. Don't deny it, sir, you're looking for posts. But just tell me that you are. Maybe it's not specific as yet.
That's you really, you don't count your chicken before they hatch. I think that this is an improbable, difficult alliance that could not have been conceived barely a few months ago. Something that has happened, and has happened for the good of the country and good of Uttar Pradesh. I think it's an experiment for both sides. Both of us have a lot to learn in order to take it forward beyond just the signing of the alliance. So there will be many things that will remain unsaid, many things that will be quietly discussed between our top leadership, and there will be things that evolve as we go along.
Rahul Gandhi's personal equation with Akhilesh and Priyanka Gandhi's equation with Akhilesh and Akhilesh's wife, is that how this all materialized?
Well, I think this has a lot to do with this alliance. It's something to do with the special chemistry that they've developed, something perhaps to do with the fact that they are the same generation, about the same age, share much of the background, etc. And certainly I believe they share a vision for UP and for the country. But that special chemistry has certainly worked.
And can we assume now, with this coalition being sorted out as we speak, that Priyanka Gandhi would campaign with Akhilesh potentially? Rahul would campaign with Akhilesh as well?
I certainly hope so. We've been all waiting to hear that she will campaign, and I think that she's been hands-on in many of the decisions that have been taken, and we would certainly be very, very keen and anxious to see her campaign, see all of them together, campaigning together. I think it'll be a wonderful, refreshing and energizing campaign where all these young people come out and
but
talk
that's
about
still
their
your
dreams.
hope. It's not something that you know will happen, right? As far as Priyanka is concerned.
We take it step at a time, but let me just tell you that our understanding is that she is hands-on involved, and she certainly is not going to be standing aloof.
All right. Just a few more questions. Now, the assumption is that the family feud between Akhilesh and Mulayam Singh Yadav is over. In a sense, the Election Commission has decided that battle. Akhilesh has said that Mulayam Singh Yadav is my father. I will always respect him. He's a senior leader. He'll always have an important part to play in the party. He's met his father today. However, in the last little while, contrary to what was reported earlier on, Mulayam Singh Yadav has sent Shivpal Yadav's name for a seat. Earlier in the day, there was an indicator that it was his son's name which was suggested. Is this an indicator that once again, in this roller coaster sort of battle, as it were, between father and son, we've hit a problem area?
I hope not, and I do not think so. Let's not read too much into every little maneuver or move or little accommodation that's done within the family and within the top leadership of the Samajwadi Party. We've tried to stay clear of their personal emotions, and I'd rather that we stay clear and let them handle it themselves. But what's been conveyed and communicated to us is that we are going to work together. So in the spirit of togetherness, we'll take things in our stride.
Well, final question, sir. Is this limited to the UP elections? Irrespective of the results, do you see an alliance with Akhilesh Yadav, the Samajwadi Party, stretching on to the national elections 2019?
I think this is a historic beginning. And as I said, we have a lot to learn, we have a lot to do. I hope that on the foundations that we make in UP, we can do bigger things across the nation, across the country. But we shouldn't rush into anything. We should just learn to work together with each other, learn to like each other at every level, at the ground level, at the districts, in the state itself, and wherever else they have their units in the country, as in Mumbai, for instance. There's a lot of hard work to do. But if we go with a positive spirit, we go with open hearts.
But at some level, Mr. Khurshid, has that been discussed? Yeah. You'll have to negotiate that relationship out beyond these elections. Yes. But at a broader level,
of course,
it's been discussed between the Samajwadi Party and the Congress that you're looking to take this beyond these elections?
I think there's a sense that this is not a one-night stand. There is a sense that this is going to be a lasting relationship. There is a sense that we are working on an edifice of something very large that will change the nature of politics in our country. Let's keep our fingers crossed and remain committed to that dream.
All right, Mr. Khurshid, thanks very much for speaking to us. Burning the candle on both ends is what the Congress is doing at this stage to try and figure out how many seats that's going to work out to. Well, I'm going to introduce my panel, Kumar Bhartendra Singh, the BJP MP from Bijnor. Thanks very much for being with us. Pawan Khera of the Congress as well. And Madhukar Jaitley, the senior leader of the Samajwadi Party, with us. Mr. Jaitley, how many seats, bottom line, is the Samajwadi Party willing to give the Congress? Because that's where it is now, right? You don't have a problem with the Congress, obviously. It's the number of seats. How many seats?
Needs to be, it's all being worked out between both the sides, and soon by the next 2 days or sometime, as the CM has told today, it will be announced very, very shortly.
Is there a dispute at all at any level in this? Is the negotiation working out?
No, it's all no. As you know that it has started very recently. The whole work is being under process. Seat to seat details have to be worked out. It will be decided very soon, and once it is decided, we will come forward and announce the decision.
And what about the RLD factor in this? Is there also a sense, and let's be honest, that when one speaks of this mahagathbandhan, the RLD may not even necessarily be a part of it, because the negotiations and what they are pushing for, it's tough, you know. They're demanding many more seats than perhaps the Samajwadi Party is willing to give them to contest. So could they be left out of the mahagathbandhan?
See, it will again, I will still say that kindly wait for some more time. The whole picture and the whole scenario will be before you very, very shortly. Let us work out the whole details. The first phase of the nomination has started. Before the first phase ends, the phase-wise decision has to be taken, and because the RLD and the Congress both have to be be consulted on both the areas where the first phase is going to polls. The decision and the discussions are going on. Once these are decided, we will come back to you.
Okay, Mr. Bhatendra Singh, you know, there is impetus now to certainly to the Congress and the Samajwadi Party. 72 hours back, it seemed the Samajwadi Party was in an utter mess. The Congress didn't know who to ally with. Is this a cause of concern for the BJP? The fact that it's all coming together for these parties?
No, actually what is happening on the ground is that the voter has more or less made up his mind. What I believe, because I've been touring my constituency and neighbouring constituencies also, and we've had these yatras which have traversed most of every constituency of the 403 MLA seats. I've been in West UP, and I think our voter is more or less, they've made up their mind. On the other hand, the opposition voter, because the lines are very clear, unfortunately, in UP, is a little disturbed. He's upset about the leadership fighting, and the minority mindset in any democracy is that of insecurity, and that insecurity only grows when its leaders start fighting and scrambling, family fights.
But they seem to have sorted it out.
I don't know. I hope they've sorted it out for the sake of a strong democracy, for the sake of a strong opposition, which we welcome in the BJP. We recognize the importance of it. We hope they can muster up a leader of the opposition, at least in the Lok Sabha now. But we really hope they'll be able to perform better. But it looks doubtful, because on the ground, let me tell you, the voter is upset. And I really might think that, I think really that with the Samajwadi Party weakening, it's actually the election might become a little tougher for us.
But you're assuming they're weakened.
I see the vote slipping into the BSP side.
But sir, you had expected, and correct me if I'm wrong, the minority vote to have split somewhat if there were two factions of the Samajwadi Party. There is only one faction at this stage. Therefore, is that something that has worked against your what you had planned for?
You see, there is a huge anti-incumbency which people are not recognizing. I do not know why it's not being recognized in Delhi, because it's apparent all over the ground in UP. This anti-incumbency has to be addressed. To top this anti-incumbency was this fight, this family fight within the leadership, which has really upset the voter. Because as a political worker, I can tell you, when I am pushed to see personal ambitions, it's very disturbing, because I'm not a part of an ideology to address personal ambitions of leaders and their personal fights. So when you see personal fights taking place, it's very upsetting for a political worker, you know.
Okay.
And this has certainly upset the Samajwadi Party worker, the Samajwadi Party voter more importantly, and it is certainly going to slip.
Mr. Jaitley, I'll come to you in a moment, because I'm sure you'd like to respond to what Mr. Singh has said over here. But let me come to you first, Mr. Khera. What exactly is Sheila Dikshit, who you worked with so very closely for so many years, thinking at this stage? At one level, she was reluctant to sort of get into the UP elections. She was asked by her party. Initially, she said no. Then she said yes. She was your party's chief ministerial candidate in Uttar Pradesh. Today, she seems to have fallen off by the wayside, in a sense. That post is no longer going to be with her. She's a senior leader. How is she reacting to this?
No, I have known her for 25 years now. She's a fighter, she's a soldier, and she has the discipline of a soldier, she has the grace of a soldier. I mean, if you compare the way Sheila Dikshit handled it with the Margdarshak Mandal of Mr. Bhatendra Singh's party, you will see the stark difference. If you compare the way Sheila Dikshit handled it with other parties in Uttar Pradesh and look at the mess they are in, you will realize the difference. So, and using words like wayside are absolutely incorrect words. She took up a challenge, and when the new opportunity got thrown in, she gracefully withdrew. Where is the confusion here? Where is the doubt here?
Okay.
There is no contradiction here. I don't see any incoherence here.
Mr. Jaitley, the BJP has called this an alliance of those rejected and those dejected. How would you respond to that?
You see, BJP has no other choice of words to express, because the BJP, which was already trying to divide the votes and spread a communal communal divide in the state of UP is left high and dry. Now the alliance which the Samajwadi Party is going to enter into with the Congress is going to help the fight lower and reduce to the three-cornered contest only in the state of UP, and thereby the division of votes is going to be very little. So this has definitely worried the BJP and also the BSP leaders, which were trying to take advantage of this situation, whereby they were trying to think that the votes are going to be split. Now these votes which is going to en bloc come with the alliance, this is going to definitely hurt their prospects.
No, but sir, are we absolutely sure that that concerns between the father and the son are over? The BJP seems to suggest that at this stage the damage has already been done.
No, you see what I am trying, after the election commission order which has come, there has been no statement from either of the sides and the matter completely is closed. Therefore,
but how is it closed, sir, if Mulayam Singh Yadav has sent Shivpal's name now? It's not closed, sir. This morning it was Mulayam.
No, but where was Shivpal's name not earlier there?
So this morning, sir, it was Shivpal's son's name which was proposed.
That is
for
not
a
the
seat.
point to be addressed.
But now Mulayam Singh Yadav has sent Shivpal.
Whether it is the son or the father.
But that's the
but
issue,
where was the denial to Shivpal Singh Yadav from the either of the sides? There is no point in reading too much between this issue.
No,
because
but sir,
Shivpal Singh was already a MLA before.
But sir, the battle was between Akhilesh Yadav in a sense and Shivpal Yadav, who unfortunately, from your party standpoint, he couldn't see eye to eye. And therefore, Shivpal Yadav was present when the initial list of candidates was announced by the Samajwadi Party. Akhilesh didn't like it at all. He wasn't even in Lucknow when this took place. There has been this entire process of Shivpal being sacked, Akhilesh's supporters being sacked, then they come back into the party, then they don't talk to each other. Now, when everything has been sorted out, Shivpal Yadav's name is back. Akhilesh will never accept this, will he?
You see, wait till tomorrow, let the list be announced, and once the final list comes out, then we will agree to whatever you are saying. Therefore, if I say something right now, you will counter my statement. Wait for some time. List announcements is going to happen from tomorrow onwards. It has already been announced by the CM that tomorrow he is going to hold a press conference. Wait for some time, see what happens, then try and comment upon any kind of a conjecture that you have.
Okay, Mr. Bhatrendra Singh, would you like to respond to that? Everything is in order, and Shivpal is an important part of the party, is what the Samajwadi Party has to say even now.
Well, the problem with the party has been exactly this. As a resident of UP, as a person involved in active politics since 1991 in UP, the people of UP had voted an educated youth person as the chief minister. Unfortunately, he was a very weak chief minister, and the complaint against the government was that there are 5 chief ministers running in all different directions, and the people had a very big price to pay for it. I know, because I am a part of that Western UP which faced a horrible riot, which all of us were blamed for, and complete false cases filed against us. And the problem continues till now. You know, they're still fighting over tickets. This is a family fight. It upsets, I can tell you personally, it upsets us as a political worker. It upsets these personal fights for your personal ambitions, for your personal family scores, for a person not getting along with this lady and her son. You know, these are matters not concerning political workers. The state of the Congress is very, very sad, because it's the oldest party. It's a party that's ruled UP for most of the time, and it's not only it doesn't get reflected only in what Mrs. Dikshit said. I have complete respect for her. She's a very dignified lady. But the state of the Congress is that here is a party, the oldest party in the country, which has ruled that state for so long, now asking for only 20% seats. What will they be given? Obviously less than 20%. That is the state of the Congress in UP. And then they have to share that with the Lok Dal. Let's not reduce the share of Lok Dal.
Would you like to quickly respond to that?
I want to know, I mean, Congress had the courage to at least have a chief ministerial face. Who is the chief ministerial face of Mr. Bhatrendra Singh's party? Does he have an answer? If he has an answer, let's start discussing that.
That's a fair question, sir. What's the answer?
That's a perfectly fair question. Well, the ideology is represented by a face. And so our ideology is completely, we have a face that represents our ideology. Whatever the BJP stands for, nationalism, Hindutva, pro-development.
Is it Sangeet Som? Is it Niranjan Bharti? Who is it? When you talk about...
Me to finish.
Yeah, I
do not
just wanted
disturb
to...
you,
No, sorry,
Pawan.
but I wanted to interject because you spoke about an ideology which is very aptly represented by Sadhvi, by Sangeet Som, by our friend.
Okay, we are running short on time, so quickly respond to that.
Yes, we cannot have
Who's the
this
face?
interjection.
Who's the face?
If I keep talking and when you are
Or
talking,
is
we
Narendra
will.
Modi ji is a
Pawan,
face?
if you keep doing this
But you
this
haven't-
show is going to flop.
Okay,
because
okay,
people
okay,
is
okay.
waving
The
at
show
each
is about-
other.
the show is
Yeah.
about to end.
Let us give each other a
But
chance
sure.
to talk.
But
Please
sir,
give me
You
a
are
name.
allowing. You are allowing.
Mr.
You are,
Khera,
you're not, just give me a chance. I
he's
do not
answering
interrupt
the
you.
question.
Why do you
I'm
interrupt
waiting.
me?
I'm waiting.
Yes,
Sure.
sir, go ahead, sir. Really
The face of
Yes.
the ideology of the BJP is represented completely by Narendra Modi ji.
Oh.
We do not need another face.
I see.
Yes.
Like he did in
You
Bihar
do
and
not
lost
see.
like he did in
You
Delhi.
do not see,
But in
my dear.
Delhi,
Why are you
all right,
interjecting?
gentlemen,
Give me a chance.
gentlemen,
Let me
why?
finish.
Why did he
Pawan,
give
let
Kiran
me
Bedi in
finish.
Time,
Why did he
Let me
give Kiran
finish,
Bedi in
Pawan.
Delhi?
Please let me
Sir,
finish.
the show is finished. Both of you are
Yeah.
finished at this stage. I'm sorry, that's not in my hands at all.
Sad that he should, that Pawan should do this.
Okay, I'm sure we'll get an answer to this. I think it's been a great debate. It's been interesting talking to all of you. Mr. Jaitley, wonderful to speak to you as well. And we'll be looking carefully to see if what you said actually happens, that come tomorrow when the seats are distributed, at least some of them, it's all going to be okay and all going to be sorted out in the mahagathbandhan. Thank you all very much for being with us.